know, for this pilot episode, I chose Warsaw, Missouri, and Independence, Missouri. And we look at one of our nation's presidents. In this series, I plan on looking at two presidents. And so this one is Harry S. Truman, who happens to be in Missouri, where I'm currently at. This is Warsaw. It's a small little town, a population of just over 2,000 people. This is the city. And it's right by the Lake of the Ozarks and the Harry S. Truman Dam. And that's why we're here today. This is the little downtown. And I'm going to go park down there by the park down there. There's a nice little bay, boat ramps, and you can see the lake. It's nice seeing lake. I've been living in Texas for so long, and the lakes are kind of brown. And here they're nice and blue. And we're going to go, my wife and I, Judy, are going to go into a restaurant here and taste the local food and see what it's like. How is it? So Judy got a club sandwich and seasoned fries, and I got a jalapeno burger and regular fries with a Coca-Cola.
That's just a lot. That's just half.
Judy can't finish her club, so she's asking me to give it a try.
Go for it.
I typically like something to drop into but there is a donkey rescue in Lincoln. And this lady
Your what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs. I can't do much with it. It needs some. I shall not be defeated. So, the gorgeous Judy and I are here in Warsaw, Missouri. And this is kind of our pilot episode that we're doing, America by Motorcycle. It used to be me and my Indian, but I didn't talk in that one. And sometimes I didn't do interviews. I just kind of wrote and put it to music. And it's time to expand that channel. I also have a martial arts channel, and it expanded pretty well. So, we're here in Warsaw. Warsaw in Missouri is a lake area, the Lake of the Ozarks, which is a big, winding, long lake. Not necessarily a big, wide area of body that stretches out like the Great Lakes, but it's very, very long, many, many curves. Great place to ride. We're going to go to the Truman Jam, and we came down to this park, and we ate today at Rusty's Skillet. Was that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what did you think of Rusty's?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. So
our favorite place was closed.
Yeah, we've been here once before, about 3-4 months ago, and there's a place called The Landing.
Yes.
And it was much better. They have a really good hamburger, but they're closed today. So for our pilot episode, we kind of decided let's go to a place we're familiar with as we practice. And so I'll put this all on YouTube, but understand this is just kind of the practice pilot episode. But Rusty's Skillet was just okay. It was not expensive though, so I had a jalapeno cheeseburger and regular fries, and she had a club sandwich. Well, I had a club sandwich too because
I could only eat half.
She only ate half of it.
It was pretty big.
It was pretty big, but it was really dry. And I don't like mayonnaise much, but even I had to add some mayonnaise to it. So that tells you a lot. 'Cause she'll tell you I don't really eat much with mayonnaise. It was a little dry.
I was shocked.
Yeah, and but it was just too dry. But otherwise, the meat was okay. The atmosphere was what you expect from a Rusty's type skillet, I think, right?
Right.
A small town like this.
Very rustic.
Very rustic inside. Service was okay.
Rusty, but rustic.
Rustic, yeah. And a couple signs in there that were laughable made us laugh. So if you're in a town for this size, yeah, stop in and $20 and you're done with a meal. So it's for two of you. So it's not bad at price. But the landing is much better, but it is more expensive. And we were there about 3 months ago, and their hamburgers there are terrific. But you're gonna pay. And I did get a picture. I'll put it on the video of the view you get, which overlooks this part of the lake. So it's a really nice view. So okay.
Catch you later.
We'll catch you later. Taking some of these back roads on my Indian dark horse to the Harry S. Truman Library. That's in Independence, Missouri. And I thought it was important to have a president. And I'm going to have another president of the opposite party, matter of fact, when I do another episode, just to balance things out. Truman was a Democrat. And for his time, he would be considered a progressive in some way, especially socially. Social Security is something that was a big endeavor by him, and he also was the one who had to make the call whether we drop the atomic bombs on Japan, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And that's forever a day that's going to live in people's minds, because so far we're the only country that's ever dropped a bomb on somebody. And there's debates on that. And here's the museum itself. And in the museum, they actually they quote people who had differing opinions on whether it should be dropped or not. And interesting enough, General Dwight Eisenhower didn't think so, and that quote is in the museum. So the museum wrestles with those hard decisions that he had to make. He was married to one wife, Bess. He had one daughter, Margaret. And in the museum, you'll see it. There's a neat piece of all the letters he wrote to his wife, Bess. He was instrumental in many other ways, and also in the integration of the armed forces. In 1947, National Security Act, he was pushed with Congress on making that pass. So he did a lot of things that go down in history to this very day. Also in the museum, it deals with the MacArthur situation. North Korea, MacArthur wanted to continue and did continue against the president's orders and going all the way into China in the Korean conflict. And while as a former military person, and if I look at the tactics, MacArthur was probably right on the tactics, but wrong on the Constitution. And the Constitution is the president is the commander-in-chief. And, MacArthur did swear an oath to fulfill that Constitution and knew better. So while I think he was right on the issue about tactics and strategy and how to fight the war, he was wrong on the legal and moral question, and that was his boss was the commander-in-chief. And whether you like it or not, that's who he had taken an oath to obey. This was a really neat piece in that museum here, this big globe, and it has some data about Germany after World War II. It's just a really neat display in that library. And understand presidential libraries, if you've never been to one, they're not libraries in the traditional sense with a whole bunch of books. They're more of a museum where people go there and they can look at the things that took place in the life of that person, and especially during their presidency. It's also important to note that Truman served in the armed forces in World War I. And I think that probably had a lot of impact when he had to make decisions when he became president all of a sudden towards the end of World War II. He did fight in France. That's important to remember as a captain. Here's the letters to Bess. It's just a really neat display. And it displays his foibles as well as his strengths. That was the Bible that you just saw that he took the oath on, and there's the grave of he and his wife. His daughter's grave is also there, and that's the office. And that's the way they left it on his last day. That was there at that library. Well, I hope you enjoyed this pilot episode. Good luck, good writing, and God bless you. Thank you so much.